Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Monday here on the beautiful Central Coast. Welcome to our weekly response and recovery call. Today is Monday, April 5th. Hope you all had a lovely April weekend with the Easter holiday and lots of people in town. My goodness, it was a fun and festive weekend downtown. Absolutely. So I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for continuing to join us each week for these meetings. And it's always nice to see you all. We are evaluating whether we'll continue to have these meetings on a weekly basis. It looks like we'll probably go to a monthly basis starting in May, but for the rest of April, we'll continue to meet every Monday, just as we have for the last year, because we like seeing you on a weekly basis. Special thanks to our board of directors. Our next board meeting will be next Tuesday, April 13th at 7:30 in the morning. And we had a great board orientation for our new members last week. And we want to, again, thank our outgoing board president, Pat Arnold, for his tireless efforts the past 2 years, and welcome our new board president, Laura Mullen, who became officially our president on April 1st. So thanks to them. And I will be sending out the board packet by the end of this week to any board members who are on the call. So thank you for that. With that, Rachel, how are things looking this week?
Good morning, Bettina. So as of Friday, April 2nd, we're still in the substantial or the red tier. SLO County is at 20,547 positive cases of COVID-19 with 215 active cases. So that number is kind of hanging out there. Lee may be able to touch on a little bit more what those numbers are looking like, but we are not into the orange yet. We have added another death in our county, bringing the total to 256. We do have the vaccine numbers of people who have been vaccinated in SLO County. This is doses, so not technically people who have been vaccinated. The number's a little bit skewed because it's not 135,000 people who have been vaccinated. This is just number of doses. So with the 1 shot or the 2 shot, that number goes in, and that's 135,984. Testing, again, is really important for us, and you can visit readyslo.org to learn more. And with the vaccine eligibility, we have some more good news to announce. I think some people will be touching on that later, but you can learn more at recoverslo.org.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate that. And it is important to note that, we're still in this, even though it does feel like we're coming out. This is still a moment where we need to do the right thing and get tested and all of that. Just switch through. We have a number of upcoming committee meetings that we'd like to invite the Downtown SLO community to join. We're relaunching our business education series, which is a quarterly service where we invite you to come together and learn a deep dive on a specific topic. So our topic for April is going to be homelessness downtown. As we know, we've been hearing from a lot of you about issues related to homelessness, and this has been a challenge throughout the pandemic. And as we continue to recover, it will continue to be an issue. We have some really great speakers lined up for you to talk about this extremely complex issue. We have representatives from the County of San Luis Obispo, and they are, of course, the agency that oversees homeless services in general. We also have Derek Johnson, the city manager from San Luis Obispo, and he'll be talking about the city's new roles they're taking in responding to homelessness and some new work in the major city goals, as well as some collaborative partnerships. We'll have your downtown sergeant from SLO PD, Jason Dickel. We'll talk a little bit about how to protect your business and some safety strategies, and as well as how law enforcement is dealing with these issues and changing laws. And then we'll have John Clevens, who is a social worker who works for TIMA, Transitions Mental Health Associations. He is currently embedded with the Community Action Team at SLO PD, and he'll talk a little bit about his work. And then we'll have our downtown outreach specialist, Junior Menchaca, who is employed with CAPSLO, and he can talk a little bit about the case management that he does and some of his successes connecting people with services and some of the challenges that exist in his work as well. So we are asking for pre-registration for this, and Rachel will drop the link in the chat so that you can sign up for that in advance. This is coming up on April 21st. But we have another special topic, which is also of supreme importance to all people downtown, and that is parking. So with the City Council budget, two-year budget getting approved at the April 20th City Council meeting, that includes recommendations from the parking enterprise. And so while our parking and access committee has been on kind of hiatus during the pandemic due to various factors, which are pretty self-explanatory, we have reconstituted the Parking and Access Committee on an ad hoc basis so that we can discuss this and make recommendations on this topic. So we are going to be discussing the Palm the Pomo structure and some recommendations we have to potentially rebrand that and have it be more of an aspirational issue. We're also going to be talking about the new pay stations, as well as ways to support parking services staff recommendation to council for creating that, or not getting rid of the first hour free in the structures, and some other incentive programs that you'll be able to use in your businesses to help people gain access to parking and not feel that they have an unwieldy barrier toward coming downtown. So this is going to be April 8th, 9 a.m., and you can email Rachel to join in. On April 17th, we are also having another downtown cleanup day. The last time we did this was in October, and it was a great success. You can see some photos of some great folks helping out downtown. And on April 17th, we will have aprons and cleaning supplies. And all you need to do is just sign up. We'll be meeting in Mission Plaza, and we can orient you and give you some materials to go out and clean up our downtown and get it ready for the summertime. So with that, those are kind of our three main things coming up in April. And with that, I'd like to invite our county supervisor, or Dawn, to come and talk with us now about what's going on at the county. Dawn, are you out there?
Yes, I am. Good morning. Hi there. Nice to see everybody. Thank you so much. I was alone last week, so I'm sorry I didn't get any new slides to you in regards to some things that are happening. But today's the first day for Sarah Sartan. She will be my new legislative aide, and I will be sending her information over to you in the chat. So if you have any desire to sit together and have a meeting, or invite or whatever, please reach out to Sarah, and we'd love to participate in any kind of request that you have. Today I wanted to talk about the launch of Recover SLO. And the Recover SLO is, here we did. Nope, was I going to talk about this? I can talk about that. Let's go back to that one slide. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Vaccinations. Yeah, 30-year-old plus. Can you guys go get your vaccines, please? We're all happy about this. I got my first one last week, and I'm just over 30. No, but you can see that we have a lot of movement now in the vaccination world. And if anybody has any challenges with that, I'd sure like to hear about it, because every day I'm running into people. It seems like everybody's getting vaccinations from either the county, the 3 sites that we have, Arroyo Grande, Cuesta College, or Paso Robles. I went to Paso. It was a smooth thing. I had the 2-time. I had the all of a sudden now I can't think of the name. Not the Moderna, but the other one. And yes, and so and I didn't have a reaction, thankfully, but I know some people have. But I do know that Walgreens, CVS, and everybody else has accessibility to vaccines. So really, we just have a lot of opportunity now to get as many people vaccinated as possible. And so we added the judicial system, which I think should have been in the first part, but they are now in the system to be able to get theirs. And then all of those in the food and ag. And it's, I mean, we're getting really to the point now. And again, you can go to readyslo.org, check your pharmacies, use the vaccine finder. I guess this was the slide that we had presented, that we had prepared for last week when we couldn't come. And I apologize for that. So anyway, so we're going on to, I want to go to the economic recovery packages that are going on. So you'll see that we have something called Recover SLO. And there you will see an application for small businesses. What we did initially is, this is before the $54 million came, is that we wanted to respond to the businesses in the unincorporated area because they didn't have cities to go to and to get any kind of small business grants. So initially this will be looking at the unincorporated areas, you know, Napomo, Templeton, Cambria, Cayucas, those are Los Osos. These are unincorporated areas. Napomo, I said that, Oceano. And then what's good about what we've done on the Recover SLO website is that we've kind of broken it down into business sections. And so, you know, you can go in, and right now for this little amount that we have from 1 to 50 employees, from $1,500 to $3,500 available through the Workforce Development Board. And the application is up online right now. So that is there. What I'm hoping that all this infrastructure that we've put in place and the advertising will be ready for when we're going to do something bigger with some of the $54 million that we have. And what I encourage each and every one of you who are, whether it's our art museums, whether it's our live performance people, all of that, if you have feedback to the county on where you think we should be providing grant opportunities, send it over to me so I can then send it in to the team that is working on it. We have a subcommittee of Supervisor Pashong and Supervisor Gibson. So because all 5 of us can't talk about it, only 2 get to be on a subcommittee. It's those 2 gentlemen. And then we're feeding information to our administrators on things. And what I would like to see is, you know, something carved out for maybe the art museum, something carved out for the theater folks, something carved out for our gym people, so that they don't have to compete, and there's something there. There's something special. And I'm not the last vote on this, but that's what I would be voting for. But I would like feedback. We will also be using a COVID economic a report that's coming into us from our REACH economic partners, and they have a draft of that right now. And one of the things that really shows is that, again, the service industry, the small businesses are the ones that are hardest hit. You know, we actually have growth in the high tech sector of jobs, but we don't have growth when it comes to the service sector. And so, you know, we want to absolutely have a data-based plans that we can show where the money is needed, but your input and your experiences and what you see and where things are missing is what we need to hear. And so I'm going to put Sarah's information up in the chat right now, and then I'll put my email too, and please feel free to reach out at any time, and I'll stop there if that's okay.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Really appreciate that. And I want to let you know too that I was part of a sort of ad hoc meeting that got done last week. It was me, Jim D'Antona from the Chamber, and Chuck Davison from Visit SLOCAL, and Cheryl Cumming from the Tourism Unincorporated Areas. And we were talking about how to really incentivize businesses to get the message out to employees that they need to get vaccinated. So we were talking about how the percentage of people in the eligible categories who have been vaccinated already remains a little bit lower than it needs to be. And Courtney, you might talk about this in your update as well. But I think the more that you can share with your employees incentives to get vaccinated, educate them about the fact that vaccination is free. You do not have to have health insurance, especially for some of those folks who are working in the hospitality industry, who are working part-time. They might not understand that. So we'll be working with the county on that, and we're hoping to also, if there are print assets that get developed, we could deploy those through our downtown ambassadors. For example, we could put out like a flyer that goes up next to people's time cards in their kitchens, or if they work in hotels, things like that.
It's a really good point, Bettina. I'm really glad you're bringing that up. I mean, I'm I guess I'm not surprised, but I am surprised at how many people are like, it's not that important to me. I don't think that's, a big deal or something. And we really, this is our way back, and it's so close, but yet we certainly need to incentivize. Are you thinking like how to, like, gift cards or kind of a thing, kind of incentivizing, or just like you're going to get fired if you don't get vaccinated? Which is it?
I don't think you can do that part.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And I'm not a lawyer, so
no,
let me be clear about that. But no, I think that we've heard from a number of individual small businesses that they are providing incentives to their employees. So it might be as simple as like, hey, if you get vaccinated, we're going to get you a gym membership because now you can go to the gym, or we're going to buy you a gift card to your favorite coffee shop, or it could be really what's up to the employer, but it's in the employer's best interest to have a team that's vaccinated.
No. That's
and
great.
Also lead by example, right? So like, I'm getting vaccinated tomorrow. I am so excited that I can barely see straight. And I've told my team about this, and many of them have gotten vaccinated before me, but it's part of that as well.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's nothing to joke about. It's critical. And I really appreciate the leadership of Downtown SLO and everything that you're doing. And then maybe next week, we'll go back to the homelessness conversation from the county's perspective as well. I know you've got this one with Carolyn coming up, but we're doing quite a few things, and we are not communicating all of the things that we're involved in. And so that's another piece that's got to come along here too, now that people are getting out and about. Thank you.
Great. Well, we look forward to that. And I also appreciate the fact that you're calling on the members of the arts and cultural community to give their recommendations. We're in a great spot right now. The state has released guidance for outdoor and indoor performance starting April 15th. And we know that those types of performances and events are critical for our downtown economy and for, a healthy society in general. So as we look to bringing back some of those events, as we are learning with our farmers market, you'll note the beats in my background. It's not like turning a faucet on and off. It's like having to change a pipe and then realizing that the cabinet underneath is moldy and you have to go down, and then there's mold under there, and then you have to actually build and replace the foundation so that you can just change the tap and turn it on again. So we appreciate your grace and helpfulness as we try to navigate those complicated issues. Great. And we look forward to meeting Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next week. Thank you.
All right. Up next, we're going to invite Courtney Kino from Cal Poly. How are you this morning?
I'm great, but I actually have a question for Dawn. Can I ask you a question first?
Yes.
Okay. That is really interesting to me that you're going to be hearing that economic impact study on COVID. Did you say that's going to be presented at a board meeting, and do you know the date?
Yeah, I don't have it scheduled. We don't have it scheduled yet at a board meeting. The draft just came out. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it'll be in the next couple weeks. I think that we'll see a final version or something at least workable for us to be able to utilize. Because, obviously $54 million, everybody's like, well, what, why don't you have more money here and this and that? And we've got to be wise about how we spend the money. And we also want to make investments that we're able to make more money. So, this is kind of why we want to just really think this thing through in a way. In the meantime, I do think that there's, some money can be sent to our small business community as soon as possible, particularly since we already have things set up. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on that, Courtney. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then I also want to just declare how exciting it is that we're talking about parking and access again, that we're getting into a space where these things are going to start becoming issues again, and just how exciting that is. And then for the quick plug for the downtown cleanup, I don't know how many of you have kids under 16, but I find it really hard to find volunteer activities that you can do with kids 16 and under. So this is one that my kids get excited about. They're downtown, we're downtown a lot. And so feeling like, we just walked through Mission Plaza this week, and last time on the cleanup day, we were scrubbing the art boxes and cleaning up trash. And there's an ownership or a community feel in it that is so neat. So just a little plug on that. now transitioning to Cal Poly, we are just I always like to put a timeline on where we're at. So we're starting off the second week of spring quarter. And I wanted to talk a little bit about an update I gave last week. So I shared that the CDPH, California Department of Public Health, had just shifted their guidelines around commencement and allowing families to attend under very specific seating arrangements and restrictions. I wanted to make sure to reiterate that Cal Poly is still evaluating that guidance. We have not made an announcement about the specifics regarding Cal Poly's commencement ceremonies. In June, we are hoping that a final decision on that will come out very soon, maybe even this week, and I will make sure that you all are the first to know once we do have that, but we have not been able to decide exactly what our ceremonies will look like yet. So I wanted to make sure that that was really clear. And then two more things.
Can you remind us what weekend, what's the date of Cal Poly graduation is, regardless of what the decision is?
Yes, I will put that in the chat because I don't have it on the top of my head. But as soon as I'm done with my update, I'll look it up and put it in the chat. Great question. Important question. The second kind of update I wanted to let you all know about is that this past Thursday, an economic impact report was commissioned by, the economic impact report was commissioned by the CSU and then released on Thursday, indicating that Cal Poly contributes $1 billion a year to the economy of the Central Coast. This has been a study that we've wanted for a really long time to try to understand that economic impact we have. And I know that, downtown businesses are a big part of that picture, and we're really grateful for all of the ways that you all support students and, Cal Poly, the Cal Poly community as a whole, between whether that's work, internships, goods, services, probably moral support for a lot of you. So we're really grateful for that, and I'll post the link to that study in the chat. And then my final update: on Friday, an announcement was made to campus that we're changing the academic calendar for the start of fall quarter 2021, so this fall. The first day of classes is going to be on Monday, September 20th, not Wednesday, September 15th, as it was previously planned. And some other important dates around that. So September 14th and 15th will be move-in for first-year students, and then week of welcome will happen the 15th through the 19th of September. So those were sort of the big items of the week, and I really am always grateful for the time and attention, and I'll post that link to the dates for commencement in the chat as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Courtney. And thanks for those date reminders. It's our relationship with time has been forever changed by the year 2020 and COVID-19. So yes, I feel like I have a scrolling calendar in my brain all the time. And thank you also for volunteering your family at our downtown cleanup day. You're our volunteer VIPs for sure.
So grateful to do it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, up next we have Mr. Lee Johnson with the City of SLO. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm good, Bettina.
Hello.
Can you hear me and see me okay?
We can.
Excellent. All right. So a couple things. As Rachel mentioned, our numbers did get slightly better last week. Where the big place that we are still behind is on the case rate. We're at 6.9, and it looks like the state will hit 4 million vaccinations shots in doses in the lowest tier today or tomorrow would be my guess. So that moves the case rate that you need to go to the orange tier to 5.9, and we were 6.9 last week. So tomorrow, if we are able to get under 5.9 on our case rate and have our other metrics stay the same, and then next week also be under 5.9, we would have the opportunity to move to the orange tier. So that's good news for everybody. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. And then on Friday, Bettina, as you mentioned, they updated a lot of guidance around gatherings, private events, indoor seated events, live performances, family entertainment centers, fairs, and amusement parks. It's a little complicated. I'll drop a link in the chat that you can see the summary that they have. We're trying to talk with the county and figure out how some of this will be enforced, because some of it is based on how many people are vaccinated or tested, and like how do you manage that and who manages it and how that's going to work. So there's a lot of discussions on what how we're going to manage this come April 15th. There's also a chance we'll be in a different tier. So a lot of questions on that, but we're working through it, and we will send out guidance as we get it. But that's basically where we stand. So the best thing everyone can do is stay masked up, keep your distance, wash your hands, get tested, and please get vaccinated. That's it for me today.
Great, thank you, Lee. And I know that we'll be talking, we, Downtown SLO and the city, about what these new guidelines might mean for some of our other programs, like, for example, Concerts in the Plaza, which we've been kind of in the background theoretically thinking about what might be possible. And now we have some really clear guidance. So it affects our organization and it affects downtown as well. And I did want to just check in with you. The next city council meeting is on April 20th, and that's kind of an important one, right?
Well, there's one tonight as well. But
tonight?
Or tomorrow night, sorry. There's nothing on the agenda, I think, related to downtown tomorrow night. On April 20th, we'll be getting strategic budget direction from the council. So basically, we did all of the public engagement and everything, towards the end of last year and early this year. Then council set their goals, and now staff has developed the work programs and budget and everything that underlies the direction we've been given. So on the 20th, the council gets a chance to look at what we've come up with, and then they will give us the changes they want us to make prior to June when the budget is adopted. So if we miss something, we're off track, or they want more money someplace or changes made, they'll give us that direction on the 20th. And then we will come back in June with kind of the final version. And there's 2 meetings set aside to get that budget approved in June. So we're ready to go when the new fiscal year starts in July.
Great. And can you remind folks what the major city goals are, what the buckets are?
Thank you, Bettina, for putting me on the spot in the meeting. We have economic recovery and resiliency, and fiscal sustainability is one. Diversity, equity, inclusion is another. Open space, climate change, and transportation is another one.
And then housing and homelessness?
Housing and homelessness. That is them.
Great. And the downtown concerns fall under the economic recovery and resiliency.
And fiscal sustainability, yes.
And fiscal sustainability. Thank you.
Yes.
See, it's always good to remind everybody, because we should know this very well. So
yep.
We can go and
we
advocate.
will by June.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. I'll see you later today. And speaking of some of our programs, last week you all got the sneak peek that Farmers Market is coming back May 6th. So we're really excited about this, and did want to have our Farmers Market manager, Whitney, say a little bit more about what that means. So Whitney, take it away.
Thank you, Bettina. Yes, we're very excited to put it out there into the world that we are coming back on May 6th. We put out the first public announcement on our Instagram, Facebook, and over the next few weeks, we will continue with imagery and education pieces for people so that they know what to expect when we are back. Next slide, please. Or I guess I can you can go back to that one, actually. When we do come back, there will be basically 3 types of vendors that you will expect to see. One will be our certified farmers. The strawberries are in full season right now, so it'll be nice to see those. Sellers of pre-sealed to-go food, so that's going to be nothing that is a meal. It will be all the staple kind of grocery items, bread, pastries, coffee beans. Everything's going to be purchased and then take it with you. There won't be any sort of gathering no entertainment, no meals for consumption on site. Another type of vendor that you'll be able to experience will be the craft artisan home goods. So anything that is made in-house by like soap, candles, those types of things. Now you can go to the next slide. This is the imagery from the post we put out last week. We really just kind of wanted to get the information out there as a starting point, and then we will continue to put out some visuals that will break up some of this messaging over the next few weeks and really send it home to our visitors and our locals on what they can expect. This market is designed for our locals. It's designed to be safe. It will just have our farmers and to-go items. It will be limited with masks required at all times, hand washing stations, sanitizing stations. A lot of signage will be everywhere. It will be a condensed version of the market, so it will only be from Choro Street to Osos on Higuera Street, so about 2 blocks, and we'll have around 20 to 25 different vendors. You can go to the next slide. This next slide shows 2 images from, we actually went, the photo on the right is me and our certified farmer market manager, Jeff Nielsen. We were at the Morro Bay Market this past Thursday connecting with some of the farmers. Most of the farmers at that market then come to our Thursday market. So this one is Thursday afternoon in Morro Bay, and then they just head on down the road and set up at ours. So as you can see, we're trying to get some images to really show people that everyone's wearing masks, that you will be, a lot of the vendors will handle the produce themselves. So you'll point at things and then they will give it to you. Lots of signage on the vendor booths, more of that to come. But it's not the market that we all know and are used to, but it will become that as long as we follow the proper guidance, we make it work, everyone maintains their social distancing, wears their masks, sanitizes throughout. But an important thing is that this market is here for our downtown business community. So if you are a downtown business who might fall into one of those 3 vendor categories in this first phase, I really encourage you to reach out to me and let's talk about how we can get you involved, because it's going to be a really cool experience. I think it's really going to highlight our local goods, our local vendors, and I look forward to when we can get back with everything and be all 5 blocks. But for now, this is what we're working with, and we're gonna really show it off in its best way.
Excellent, thank you, Whitney. It's really fun to see you actually at a market again. That's a great photo.
Yes, it was really fun to see everyone, and I mean, a lot of these farmers, I've seen them once in a while, but the energy there. It was really, I walked away with a big smile that day under that mask.
Well, and it's fun to think about too, in connecting some of the farmers back with some of the downtown restaurants and get those chefs and those buyers connected. We're really going to depend on you, the downtown community, to spread the message that this is a local market, because we're going to require the farmers to get enough business that it is worth their while to come back week over week until we can get it back to the point where it is what it once was. So great job, Whitney. We look forward to seeing what comes, and enjoy your last 3 Thursdays free before your nights go away again.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Also coming up in May is the Mayflower initiative. So we know that if we do get too many people coming downtown for the farmers market, they can just go out and look at all of the beautiful Mayflowers that are going to be displayed in the windows downtown. We have 85 businesses and properties participating. We're so excited. Thank you to all of you who have signed up. And we have 62 artists who have signed up. Just an amazing flood of people who are committed to this project, which we brought back by popular demand. We got a grant from Main Street America, one of 10 grants distributed nationally, and we're really excited to see what's going to come out of this Mayflower initiative. We're also really grateful to the City of SLO and the Promotional Coordinating Committee. We'll be doing a pop-up in Mission Plaza, collaborating with the Cal Poly Rose Float team. They will be building and designing a butterfly garden themed float out of live and dried flowers and fruits and vegetables. And we'll be activating the plaza with some chalk art, with some lighted floral installations, and we'll also be decorating the light poles around downtown. So it's going to be great fun. And the Children's Museum is also arranging a butterfly themed scavenger hunt. So it'll be a chance for people to learn, to visit various businesses, to celebrate local artists, and get people to come downtown. So we're excited about that. we do still have gloves. Every week I remind you that we received about 161 boxes. Now we're down to about 40 left. So let us know if you need free gloves. We will get some on your hands. The Downtown Dine Out program is open daily in Mission Plaza. And I apologize, this should be an updated photo because it now has the absolutely beautiful SLO Museum of Art installation from the artist Lori Shapiro through the flowers. It's absolutely stunning. And if you haven't seen it yet, you should really go check it out. Before we go to questions, I did want to call on our incoming, or our current board president, our new board president, Laura Mullen, who I believe wanted to say something. Laura?
Thank you. Morning, everybody. Hopefully Pat is still on here, Pat Arnold.
I know.
Yay. I just want to thank from all of us on this call, Pat, and everybody downtown. I know 3 years ago when you became the vice president of Downtown SLO, you never in your wildest imaginations thought that it would last for 2 years as president. And one of those years would be in a pandemic, and you would be trying to juggle and help us in Downtown SLO, as well as juggle your own personal business, your own professional business, not only in our area, but in other states. And it was a Herculean effort, and you put in so many hours. I was trying to think, if you combined all the previous board presidents of Downtown SLO, their hours together never would have equaled what you put in this past year. So I just, we are so very grateful. And, maybe you can cut back a little bit, but we still want you to be very much involved. So I just want to thank you from everybody.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it, way more than you know. And the other thing is, you made such a great partner with Bettina and with the rest of the Downtown SLO staff, just guiding us through this past year. Can't say enough about that. Really, we appreciate all that you did with Bettina. And that I just want to say a shout out to Bettina. We couldn't have asked for a better CEO. If we had a worldwide search, we couldn't have found a better CEO, and especially somebody to guide us through this past year. And with that in mind, I just want to give a shout out again to Bettina, because she was named one of the top 50 women in business by Pacific Coast Business Times. So if anybody gets a chance to grab a copy of that and look at her smiling face in there, and the Downtown SLO board put a little ad in there as well, just thanking her again for her leadership this past year. So that's all I want to say, but I'm looking forward to this coming year. So many great plans we have, and things can only go uphill, and they are. So thanks a bunch.
Well, thank you, Laura. And now my cheeks are about as rosy as the beets behind me. So it's been quite a year. And I want to also thank our team, Whitney and Rachel, who have just lifted me up through all of this too. So it's definitely a team effort. And before I get emotional, I will just ask if anyone else has any other downtown questions. But we're looking forward to this next year being a little bit of a happier chapter, and growing our team and growing our downtown and supporting all of you. So with that, gratitude and thanks for all of you. I hope you have a beautiful week, and we'll be here again next Monday, hopefully with some other just chock-a-block content and good information for you. So be well, do good work, and we'll see you at the Parking and Access meeting on the 8th. Thanks, everybody.